My name is Professor Farkas, and welcome to my seminar. Today, we will be doing a deep dive of lasagna. You may be wondering why my right eye is half closed shut, and that's because Ballsack found out about the video, and I was on my way to the supermarket, and he jumped me with a gang of wild toddlers, but that's besides the point. So, before we get into the analysis of this lasagna, just a little bit about lasagna. In my opinion, the single greatest food on earth. If you don't like lasagna, you're crazy, because it's just a holy marriage of everything amazing. Pasta, cheese, meat, and sauce. Who doesn't like that? Anyway, let's get into the review. I like to consider myself a lasagna connoisseur, if you will. I consider myself an expert. So I've created a scale to judge lasagna on, and it adds up to 100. Obviously, the perfect lasagna would be an 100. Looks is 10 points. Smell is 10 points. Structural integrity is 10 points. And taste is 70, because obviously, taste is the most important thing. So starting off with looks, lasagna is kind of like a new employee. First impressions are everything. And just by judging, not too shabby, The cheese on top could be a little bit more neat, but overall, solid. I'd say looks are 8 out of 10. A lot of times with restaurant lasagna, they'll sprinkle a lot of Parmesan cheese on top with a ton of marinara sauce, and it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right. Okay, next is smell. Okay. Smells nice. Smells edible. Nothing too deep there. Fairly simple. Smell, again, it doesn't smell out of this world, but smells decent. I'll give it we'll give it an 8 again. Okay, an 8. And structural integrity. Obviously, one of the more important of the categories, because you don't want to have your lasagna fall apart when you try and cut into it. Now, a lot of times, this is a pro tip right here. If you eat lasagna right after it comes out of the oven, the cheese will still be completely melted and will make your lasagna spill everywhere. So structural integrity. Let's cut into it, see if it falls apart. Okay. First cut, pretty good. Second cut. It always survives the first cut. So if it survives the second cut and the fourth cut, then you really find out. See right here, top layer already starting to come off. Not a huge deal, because lasagna does lack structural integrity, but the great lasagnas do fairly well in the area. I'm quite pleased with what I'm seeing so far. We're going to go for one more pass and see if it stands. Oh, see right here? It's already starting to collapse as I cut it. So, once again, not great structural integrity. Because then you have to, it's really a pain in the butt to eat when you have to stitch the lasagna back together. So far, structural integrity is not bad. It's not great, to be honest. Lasagna topples over quite easily. You can see it's falling over all over my plate, but it's not horrible. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Average. So far we're at an 8, an 8, and 5. Now, coming to the most important part, taste. So, I shall take a bite of this lasagna. I'm going to cut it once more. interesting. Solid. Obviously very good. You know, hard to mess up lasagna. Actually, I take that back. It's pretty easy to mess up lasagna. Contrary to common opinion, I believe restaurant lasagna is not great and homemade lasagna is always better. But this lasagna is pretty good. The cheese ratio is a little high for my liking. It's just a little bit overpowering for me, but it's nothing too major. I'll take one more bite just to solidify. Yeah, the cheese to sauce ratio, it's a little high, but overall, it's great. The meat is there, the pasta is well done, and it comes together very nicely. I'm gonna give this this is tough. I'm gonna give it a 61. I'm gonna give it a 61 for taste. So the final scores, we've got 61, 66, 8 and 8. That makes 16. Final score, 82. 82 out of 100. Not bad. Very solid score. Could it be better? Sure it could, but I think this was a great lasagna. Nothing to be ashamed of. I'm going to eat the rest of this, but I'm not going to do it on camera because that would be weird. Excuse me. Well, class, that concludes today's seminar. As always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. In the comments, let me know what type of video you'd like to see next, and that'll be all. What is that music? Buffoons. Anyway, thank you for listening to my seminar. Stay safe.